It's not impossible to come in as a tourist and then a few months later apply for an adjustment of status. You need to be very careful in the way you structure your application, because if the immigration officer who is adjudicating your green card application thinks that you've lied to the CBP officer at the border, at customs, at the airport, and you entered with the intent of getting a green card, then that's fraud, that's misrepresentation. Your green card application could be denied, and you can have a criminal record on you, and your visa could be canceled. There could be devastating consequences. So the question is, what's okay and what's not okay? If you look online, there's all sorts of different advice and they're conflicting. So in this video, I'm gonna try to explain everything to the best of my ability using the case that we just did. I hope you enjoy. Let's go. Hi everyone, my name is Joseph. I'm the managing partner here at Tsang and Associates, where we solve legal problems with creative solutions. So the legal problem in this case and in these type of cases is that your intent changed. You came in as a tourist, but after a couple months, now you're filing for a 45 application to get your green card. And different people are filing adjustments as applications in different ways. But the problem is the same. You entered as a tourist. You need to prove that you had a legitimate change of mind. If the officer sees you quit your job 2 weeks before you came to the US, that kind of seems like you are intending to stay in the US. If they look at your luggage, they write it on their notes, and then later on USCIS takes a look at it. It's like, oh wow, you brought like everything with you, like 10 suitcases. It looks like you're planning on staying. You're not here for a 2-week Disneyland vacation, like you said you were coming for. So you really have to be careful, because these fact patterns can impact your case. And I've seen it happen before. Our client in this case, they invested in the EB-5 program. And so they waited years and years and years, and they didn't know their priority date was gonna become current, because every month it changes. So after they enter the US, the priority date jumped forward. They're able to now file adjustment of status in the US, but they only had 1 month to prepare for it. When they're coming into the US, the reason is because their US citizen daughter gave birth. Now, this is the tricky part, because you can't say as the mother, oh, I'm gonna take care of my daughter because they had a baby, because you are now competing with American nannies, right? You are competing for a US job. That is something you're supposed to pay for. I've seen so many tourist visas get denied on that basis. So there was that particular issue. And then there's the whole extension issue. Well, how long are you gonna stay before you file for the adjustment of status? They needed to stay just long enough so that they can file it, and they need to do an extension. It was all very difficult, and we needed to prove why she needed to stay for that long. And we did not want to lie, right? We never want to lie. And so we don't want to say she was just going to Disneyland when she was not obviously going to Disneyland. She was living with her daughter. So in doing this case, we got to understand the family situation, the dynamic, exactly what they're doing. And it turns out the daughter had postpartum depression, right? As many, many young mothers do. It's very, very difficult time. So it's perfectly legitimate for the mother to take care of her daughter, not as a doctor or nurse, right? Because nobody can replace a mother. She came to be a mother. And that's how we structured the case, the extension, and the reason for the adjustment of status. She could not go back to China to wait for the consular processing, because God knows that could take another 1.5 to 2 years. So we were able to structure everything and file for the adjustment of status in the US, even though the mother came as a tourist. This isn't a crazy difficult case. A lot of law firms do these. We do these all the time. Change of status, adjustment of status. The key point is you really want to document your intention, the reasons why, and you really want to paint a picture. It's not just about filling the forms. It's not just about requesting certain things, because the officers, this is what they're supposed to review. And so if you just do a poor job of just putting documents together and filing it, and then the officer catches something that you didn't think they would know, that's when problems arise. And then the consequences are so severe. For this family, if we didn't do it correctly and it failed, they would not be able to stay in the US. The mother would have to go back and wait several more years before they could be reunited. The consequences would be devastating, because basically the baby would be able to grow up without seeing grandmother for like years and years and years. And the mother would continue to suffer these psychological hardships, right? And so if you do it correctly, now they're able to stay together and they're happy. All right, that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Take care. Bye-bye.